Hey, it's Game Design Ed, and I'm back playing around with Puzzle Explorer. In this video, I want to show you how to design a puzzle starting with the general layout of the puzzle and then focusing on the particular parts of the puzzle. To do so, let's travel to the Yucatan Peninsula. For this puzzle, we want the player to move back and forth across the game board 3 times. So let's start with 3 sets of perpendicular walls with corners that point toward the explorer. Let's move the compass here and add 1 block in the lower right corner for the sake of symmetry. Let's add 2 gate blocks to block the compass, so the explorer has to collect a key to complete the puzzle. Let's add a camera that the player has to collect, and the key to unlock the gates. Let's test it out. So the player has to collect 3 things, which could be used to make the explorer move back and forth across the game board 3 times. But right now, the explorer is not forced to move back and forth across the board 3 times because we don't have enough walls. So let's add a wall here by the key. And let's test it out. Now the player has to take a longer walk to get from the key to the camera, but not far enough. We want them to move back and forth across the game board 3 times, not just once. So let's add another wall by this camera. And let's test it. Now we move back and forth across the game board 1 time to get the key, a 2nd time to get the camera, and then we get the compass. But we could also go the other way. Back and forth 1 time to get the camera, a 2nd time to get the key, and then we get the compass. So we still only move back and forth across the game board twice. And we can go multiple ways. So let's move the gate up here before the camera, so the player has to get the key before they can get the camera. So that solves our sequencing problem. There is now only 1 way to complete the puzzle. But the player is still only moving back and forth across the puzzle twice. So let's add a block here so the player can't move directly from the camera to the compass. This forces the player to move back and forth across the board 1 time to get the key, a 2nd time to get the camera, and a 3rd time to get the compass. Now we have the general layout of our puzzle. Now let's focus in and work on the particular parts of the puzzle. Let's move the compass here and the camera here. Replace some of these walls with trees so our puzzle looks a little more interesting. And let's take out some of these straight lines and symmetry to make our puzzle look a little more complex and challenging. So now we move back and forth across the game board 3 times, once to get the key, a 2nd time to get the camera, and a 3rd time to get the compass. So the general layout of our puzzle is the same as we designed it at the beginning, but we have made changes to the particular parts of the puzzle by making them, and therefore the entire puzzle, more interesting, complex, and challenging. And that's how to design a puzzle, starting with the general layout of the puzzle and then focusing on the particular parts of the puzzle. I'm Game Design Ed. Thanks for playing.